I'm trying to
Yeah.
line us up with trying to line
So,
us backstage with the mast.
Right now, if you can get your trim in where you think is a good position, and then whoever wants to put their hand up in the air when you think that that is, spot on and perfect. Okay, so what we're going to do here for people who are tuning in is we're going to instruct our main trimmer to do some certain trimming, and we're going to check out how that affects the boat. So things we're looking for here is, how are the crew using their body weight? Are they leaning out more, or are they starting to lean in? Also, is the skipper, which is hard to see now because there's someone sitting on the stern, but is the skipper pulling on the tiller more, or is the tiller straight? And then also, is the boat just leaning over? So, Mike, can you go traveller up to try and get the boom dead center in the boat, please? So we're just going to see what happens when the traveller goes up. So the person on the radio there said they're a little overpowered, but they'll try. So now the boom's gone center, and the things we're looking for there is not just to the boom at the bottom, but I'm looking at the leach up the mast and how that's affected. So you can definitely see there's more hooking at the bottom, and the top of the sail is pointing directly at us. So I would say that's actually looking pretty good. Maybe a little bit too high, but actually no, the bottom is a little bit hooked, so I would definitely boom out a little bit. Can you go higher on your traveller, but then ease your main so we can see what the top of the sail looks like when it opens? So now we're going traveller up and easing the main. And what that's going to do is you can see the Martin sign at the top of the sail is much more open, and we can see it. And the bottom of the sail stays center. So that's the effect of having the boom too high or too low. It affects the top of the sail, not the bottom of the sail. So a lot of people can have the boom centered but not have the right trim in the sail. And now if you crank on the boom, and if it goes over center, you can drop the traveller down. So now he's going to crank on the boom. You'll notice that the sail's closing in. Look, we're finding it harder to see that Martin sign at the top of the sail. And so again, he still has the boom centered because he's dropped the traveller a little bit. Just keep going, keep going. I'm kidding, you can talk.
I was like, when are we going to talk about the trainer?
But so it is important to have your boom. Let's say people talk about having it in the center. Sometimes it's a little bit off center. But it's all about the height of the boom, which really matters as well. So you can have some people who are like, oh yeah, boom center, we're good to go. But actually, it's the height of the boom, because that affects up here. And that's really important, because even though it's a smaller sail area, it's further away from the boat. So it has way more effect on the boat because there's more leverage for that sail at the top to really pull this boat over sideways.